Okay, now it says we're live. So welcome all at another Ask Your Mentor Anything live. Hello, Ina, welcome. And I'm so happy today because it's the first time I've been doing that, Ina, since last year, January. So more than 1 year. And it's the first time I have a guest that is not active in our industry, the translation one. But for me, it's at the same time challenging and more interesting to, go ahead to a different topic that we usually cover in our live. So this is the Ask Your Mentor Anything live. And let's see if people are joining. We need some minutes.
And I am sharing. I'm sharing on my feed right now on LinkedIn. Right. Let's talk about getting leads online and have fun doing it.
Yeah. Have you shared? You can also share the actual live. Did you find our actual live? So you can also share the actual. Okay. Cool. Great.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Okay. We're also on LinkedIn and YouTube and in several pages and our, of course, private group, the Mentoring for Translators, Excellent Mentoring. So hello, guys. I see that you're joining us. Let me know if you actually can hear us, what as well, the sound is okay. And of course, say hello to Ina because it's a new guest of ours. Say hello, and where are you watching us from in the comments? And if the sound, the picture is okay. And of course, before getting to our topic, because I find it really, really interesting, I would love actually your questions to the topic. Okay, I see some people liking. So your questions, use the comments below, okay, to ask us anything related to our today's topic. So I see we're live. Great. So hello, Ina. Thank you so much. Would you like to introduce yourself? And then I will say the story. I will tell the story how we met.
Yeah, sure. I am posting it right now on Instagram stories.
Oh, amazing. I never do that. Thank you so much. You see, this is why you are a lead expert here. You show that through practice.
Gotta let everybody know that this is happening, right?
Exactly.
So, I'm going to shut off my sounds and I'm here. Hi, everybody. So, Virginia, thank you so much for having me. This is wonderful. The first time that I had you on a summit was for March Monetization Madness in 2019.
Yeah, I was about to say the story. Yeah, thank you for
we have a long history.
Yeah.
So yes, hi everybody. So I am a lead generation expert for online coaches. And what that means is that people who want to get their expertise out there and start to teach other people how to do what they do best, what is most natural to them, they want to go out and do it. But then it's like, where do I find clients, right? And we're going to dive into all of that. How do you actually find clients? Because my specialty is being able to find clients, even if you have a 0 to tiny audience, right? To this day, I haven't cracked 1,000 followers on any of my social media platforms at all. And I have been able to build a 6-figure business in less than 2 years doing that.
Amazing.
So those are the kinds of tips that I'm going to be giving you is how do you get started getting more leads? And I really want to be conscious of where you guys are in your business and what kind of clients you have. So one thing that would be really, really helpful for me is if you're here live, write in the comments what kind of work you do and who is your audience. That is going to help us really keep this very tight and very relevant to you.
That's very interesting. So I would like just to mention that what you do is actually can be applied to solopreneurs, service-based freelancers, because you mentioned coaches. Okay, that's your niche and I really love it. But definitely what we are going to discuss today can be applied by any translator, freelance, service-based, okay, solopreneur all over the world. So we're going to discuss for things that you can actually implement anytime, whenever you want to get leads or clients. And some really interesting that you mentioned the fact that the numbers of followers that we have on the impact of social media doesn't really mean also financial revenue and money in our accounts, because we have, I've seen that from other translators. They have a huge impact, but they are coming to me and they're telling me, I cannot, for example, make the ends meet, or I cannot make the money that I would love to, so as to pay my bills. And I'm really surprised every time they tell me that, because I see their impact. I see that they post, for example, LinkedIn, they get 300 comments, or I don't know how many thousand views, but actually they don't get clients, or actually they don't make the money they would wish. So definitely, it's not the same having 1,000 followers that you mentioned with having 6-figure business that I just reached also the last year myself. So thank you so much.
let's say that again for the people in the back. The size of your audience is not directly related to the income that you're going to make, unless you get really good at actually monetizing that audience. And you can do that even with a tiny audience, right? So I think that's where I would love to get started. So to remind everybody, put in the comments who you serve and what kind of business you do, so we can make this super relevant to you. But yeah, why don't we, like, I'm gonna follow your flow, Virginia, because I could just get to teaching like it's nobody's business. But
it's okay.
Here we're talking about getting clients no matter the size of your audience.
And you know why I love this topic? It was actually my thesis dissertation topic at my executive MBA. So it was client acquisition strategies for language professionals. But actually, I've seen that everything that we've seen in my thesis actually applies to solopreneurs and freelancers in general. So this is why I love also this topic, and I talk a lot, but not actually lead generation specifically. So it's the first time that we're going to cover that. And let's start with the most common questions that we get. So as to people who are watching us.
Let's talk about our story first and how we met.
Okay, yeah. So I will introduce and then you take it from there, because you're a native speaker, so maybe you take it better. But it was a mess on my first US-based online summit that I ever participated, and I'm very honored. And since then, my career, like, I don't know, flow well. Like, I have seen so many changes since then, for the good. And it was such a great experience, and you're a great host, and also you've made many changes since then. So yes, and it looks like it was years ago, and it was like last March you mentioned, like March
2019. It was 2 years ago.
2 years. So yeah, okay, so yes, definitely we've made a great progress since then in our careers. And is there anything else you would like to mention about that?
I don't remember how we got in touch though, like how we initially made contact.
But I was following you, so because you're very active, I'm pretty sure that I was member of your group, because you have had several groups by then. Now you're focusing to your niche. So I approached you definitely because I had the same topic that you would like to discuss, and you were seeking guests and speakers on that specific topic, how to go from an in-house position to a freelancer. And I had the same story, so I reached you out and I told you I have the same story to share, and you told me, yes, let's discuss it to see. And it was since then I cannot even count how many online summits I've been as a speaker, or online and offline conferences since then, not only the translation business in general. And I also launched my coaching for translators business since then. Yeah, the first moment I cannot even recall, but I know that I was following you because you were doing a great job, and I was really amazed by how confident you were in front of the camera, and you were live every day. And I was really, how she's doing that, the energy. And you have 2 kids, very small in the family, and yeah, you were a role model back then. Since, okay, you still nowadays, but I remember the first moment.
and you have totally blown up since then. I mean,
the word that was blown up, yeah.
And I think that that's really important for everybody to realize, that visibility and getting out there on summits and getting out there and getting interviewed on podcasts and all that, it helps to grow your audience. Now, getting leads is a different thing. So Virginia is doing all the right things to grow the audience, and also going about getting clients as the audience grows. So I want to separate, like, lesson number 1 is the separation.
I make notes.
Separation between lead generation and audience growth. In fact, I actually I had this epiphany in the past couple of months where I realized that there's a lot of people who are investing in a whole ton of programs and a whole ton of coaches. And then in the end, a year later, they still don't have the business that they want. It's like, okay, what is happening? Why are we experiencing this in the coaching industry, that there's a lot of over investing and under earning? So I've been talking about this online because it's starting to feel like, the online world is starting to feel like kind of like a bubble, right? We're all investing in all of these things, but then not getting all the value that we need. And so I started to teach, like, okay, then let's just talk about getting clients, right? Because that's really at at the foundation of your business is the ability to make money with the people that are already there in your network. So,
and if you don't make money, you do not have a business, just to make sure.
Exactly. And I don't remember who said this to me, but like, yeah, if you're not making money, then what you have is an expensive hobby. That's all it is. So making money has to be a priority in the business. And I've seen so many people make the mistake of thinking that audience growth is a lead generation activity, right? So
it's a part of our lead generation strategy, most probably.
It's basically something that comes. This is kind of how I decided to like separate it into stages. I even created a program all based on this. It's called Get Clients First, to get people to do the things in the right order. So many people are joining the programs to like increase their YouTube viewership and increase the size of their Instagram followings. And I'm like, none of that gets you money. None of those things. That's an audience growth activity, not a lead generation activity. So I had to divide it into stages for my audience. And I'm going to tell you what those stages are. So if anybody's here write this down. This is the order in which a business gets built. Okay. We start with getting clients, right? Stage 1 is basically monetizing the network that you already have. Because I hate to break it to you, but your first clients already know who you are. Okay, your first clients are the people who already knew you from 20 years ago.
And if I can add something to that, is also falling into the category of marketing statistics that we say your clients, they need to see you first 5 or 7 times before they actually buy. And definitely the hot or warm leads, which are actually those that you already have in your network, they convert even better and faster than any new lead that you will get into your network, because we had a similar discussion earlier today. So thank you for mentioning that.
Which actually, by the way, which is why what you just said, which is why I say that audience growth comes after. Because if you focus on audience growth, then you're trying to manufacture that constant visibility, and it takes time for people to see you for long enough to want to trust you. So if you start with audience growth, it's going to take you a while to turn those people warm and hot enough to actually turn into clients. So you start with, okay, who already knows me? Who doesn't need to see me 47 times in order to buy from me? That's where we start.
Okay, thank you for mentioning that. And also about audience and visibility, you mentioned the conferences, because I get that question from translators very, very often. Like, I don't get clients from translation conference. Why should I be a speaker there? And I was mentioning earlier today in a clubhouse room with very well-known translators, among other people, where actually you don't go there to monetize right away the speaking gig that you have booked. You are participating as a speaker to a conference because you gain visibility, okay? And also you boost your credibility that way, and actually you build an authority, and you are able afterwards to promote yourself as an expert to your own clients. Not also to forget that also translators might be referrals to potential clients. So as translators, we might cooperate with each other because we complement different language combinations or different specializations. So we might give each other a project or a paid actual work. So we might be clients, okay, even though we are in the same industry. So this is a parenthesis because I really would like to add to what you mentioned. Yes, we go to those conferences. We need to build our network, and this is why we do. But for those that they are mentioning why to go to a conference where your clients are not there, first of all, it might be clients there. Translators might be your clients. And secondly, might be referrals for potential clients. But also we shouldn't neglect the fact that we build, I don't know, an authority, credibility, or becoming an expert like that. What do you think?
Can I just say, if I were to go to a conference full of online coaches, right? And online coaches are my niche, right? Because I'm a business coach, so I have
okay.
But if I were to go to a conference, for example, full of business coaches, and I'm like, why am I there? Like, they are business coaches. Why would they hire me? I'm a business coach, right? Here's the deal. this is where you start to specialize in something in particular, because just because somebody else is a business coach doesn't mean that they serve the audience, this exact same audience that I do. It doesn't mean that they serve them in exactly the same way. It doesn't mean that they have the exact same offers that I have, right? So if I put myself in front of a room full of business coaches, I'm going to make sure that they know I focus on getting clients first, and I have a low membership. So all of your clients, all of the people that you get on a sales call with, that hear your price tag and say, I cannot do that, send them my way. They are not your clients, they're my clients. So serve them. And by the way, I pay good commission. So anybody who sends anybody my way, you get something back. So there's so much power in networking in that way, in addition to increasing your visibility and your credibility, for sure. So
you see, we have answers to your question about what market they serve here. I don't know if you've seen the comments.
Yeah, I see that. Aida says, hi, I provide language services for companies seeking to enter the Spanish market. I love that, because that means to me that you're going to be providing something that is very specialized. You don't just do Spanish translations. You specialize on people who are entering the Spanish market, which means that your language and all of your content about like attracting this kind of people, it's about that transition. It's about educating your clients about the Spanish market. So rather than saying, I do Spanish translations, like, no, I specialize in teaching you about the Spanish market so that you're doing your marketing the right way, by the way, and I'll help you turn everything that you do into Spanish in a way that they're going to understand it. That's a niche right there.
And definitely, Aida, because we know our profession, you can even niche more, like companies seeking to enter Spanish market, what kind of companies, but that's in our profession, a small trick. We need to niche down. So definitely thank you for mentioning that, Ina, because this is what will separate you from your competitors, and this is what will bring you leads, as already Ina explained the ways she does it in her coaching industry. And we have another comment. We cannot see the name because they have it. You need to click the link of StreamYard, okay, in the description box so as to be able to see your name. So it says here in Portuguese translator, in the parentheses in the brackets are the language combination. I serve activewear brand. So you see even more niche down here.
And that is, and I'm looking at the LinkedIn, that is actually Daniela Melo.
Okay, great. Okay.
And I'm saying that in a Spanish way. If I totally messed up the Portuguese name.
I have opened only the Facebook. Okay, Aida says thank you for your input.
So I love the activewear brands angle. Okay, so that means that you're going to be teaching activewear about activewear in the Portuguese community. Okay, they gotta see you as an expert in their audience in the Portuguese market. Okay, Daniela?
Nice. Thank you so much, Ina. And guys, if you have more questions about today's topic, specific questions for Ina, you can use the comments below. We will address them if we have the time, because with Ina, the time flies. But definitely, Ina is so generous with us. So we are having a clubhouse room. So if you don't have a clubhouse, then I have 5 invitations. If you do, join us, because Irina will answer all of your questions, especially personalized, okay, to your own situation. So after that, 5 p.m. Central European Time, we get into Clubhouse for Q&A and actually answer all of the personalized questions. If you don't have Clubhouse invitation, send me a private message to forward you the invitation. You need to be an iOS user, and also to be, thank you, says Daniela, you're welcome, and also to have your mobile number. Okay, great input, Tina. Thank you so much. Thank you, Daniela. Okay. Thank you, Aida.
So I wanted to kind of go through the stages of building the business, okay? Starting with the stage 1, which is getting clients when you have a tiny audience, okay? Let me tell you the names of the stages first, and then we can dive into whichever one you think that, everybody. So as you're listening, everybody who's here live, as you're listening, I want you to type in the comments which stage you are in. Okay, because I'm gonna describe.
We announce them, yeah.
Okay? I'm gonna tell you each stage 1 through 5, and I want you to tell me which stage you are. Okay.
Okay, great.
Stage 1 is you need clients right now. You've had just a few clients. You don't, like, your audience is not growing yet. You just need clients right now. That's stage 1. Okay. Stage 2 is you've had clients. You already have clients, and you need to figure out a way to get more leads in. Okay. You want to be able to open your door and take the next client in, right? Have a pipeline of people who are waiting for you to become available. That is stage 2. You already had clients. Now you need to figure out how to meet more people so that you can fill your pipeline. That's stage 2.
To grow your client list, okay?
Stage 3 is to grow your audience. So by stage 3, you've already had clients. You already know how to get more leads that can turn into clients. And now it's time to grow that audience so that you can welcome a ton more people and funnel them into your services. Okay. So there is a very, very specific way to know which stage you're in. Stage 1 is you haven't really had recurring clients, okay? You haven't worked with enough people yet. Maybe you've never had clients before, or you just had a few. Like this, it feels like you're kind of like flying by the seat of their pants every day. It's like, I don't really even know where to begin to get clients, right? That's stage 1. Stage 2 is I've gotten clients. How do I get more leads? Okay. I need more people to get on a sales call with. Okay. Then number 3 is I got clients. I know how to get more people to get on a sales call with me, but now I need to meet more strangers. I need to grow my audience and grow my credibility so that more people can be funneled into my offers. Okay.
And what is the goal of growing your audience? Establishing yourself as an expert, raising your rates, raising your income, scaling up?
You grow your audience so you can get more clients. Okay. At this point, it's all about making the money. Okay. Yes, there is a byproduct of being visible, which is increasing your credibility and increasing partnerships and sponsorships, and all of that happens with visibility. But in terms of getting clients, there will be a point when everybody in your network has already used you if they were going to. So you gotta go outside and be known to strangers that you never knew before. And that's why you need to grow the audience. But that doesn't come until after you've already exhausted your network. You already know how to turn your network into clients, which was stage 2. Okay. So need clients, stage 1, need leads, stage 2, need to grow the audience, because my audience, my tiny audience is already sick of me pitching to the same people over and over again. I just need more people in that pipeline that can turn into leads, that can turn into clients. That's stage 3. Stage 4 is, okay, the audience is growing. Now I need to have a way to get that traffic to turn it into clients without me having to get into a sales call every single time. So that gets into the evergreen model. All right. So in terms of translators, you help me figure this out, Virginia. So if I'm a translator, what is an offer that I can have out there that people can consume, like my ideal client can consume without me having to do so much work? Like what would that look like in the translation world?
That's a bit of a trick in our profession. There is no such thing. It depends on the specialization. So you saw some people here, they have companies to get into Spanish market, which is totally different of the Portuguese Daniela, who said that I want to get clients as activewear brands. So activewear brands are totally different in needs, okay, from the Spanish market companies or whatever is our audience. So we definitely need to consider the specialization we have in our profession, so as to think of something that our clients would really love to get and doesn't make for us, I suppose, take a lot of time or efforts to create it. So you mean like as a lead magnet?
I mean like something that is really, really valuable that you can sell. So not just a lead magnet, but
they would buy for it. Okay, they would buy it. Our clients would buy.
So for example, if we talk about Aida, right, that she's going to be talking to people about, hey, this is how you enter the Spanish market. As the expert on entering the Spanish market, I would probably have like a guide, like an ebook that describes these are the things that companies need to have in order to enter the Spanish. Activewear brands, I would have, again, it could be a digital product like that. It could just be a guide. It could be, even if it's like a video training.
That was about to say. Right? So for example, that I do the coaching for translators, I have a video on how, for example, or an ebook to get clients as a translator, or how, for example, to use LinkedIn to get clients, or things like that very shortly. it's not that easy to create, but definitely something that my audience would need. So in terms of the translation, you need to do a very short research, in my opinion, if you don't know your clients really well, to get them to know them really well. So to find out what they would really need from you, something they would buy from you.
That by then, by the way, by stage 4, you should already know that.
Okay,
because
definitely.
Those are the steps that go into stage 1 and stage 2 is learning what your clients need so you can turn them into clients, right? So by stage 4, you should already know what is a low-hanging fruit offer you can give them. So if these are, for example, companies, right? Companies, if they might already have people on staff to do translations, but these people on staff, they might be freelancers, right? They're not experts. So they may be looking to you, not necessarily to do the translation for them, but to train the staff on the lingo, to train the staff on, market trends so they can use the right language, maybe even do a little bit of consulting, right? So I would be thinking, this is not something that you just come up with on the fly.
Exactly.
This comes from market research. This comes from actually getting on a call with these companies and saying like, okay, how do you hire like Spanish translators? Is this freelancers? Do you already have a sourcing process? And what training do you have for these people so that they can do an excellent job for you? If you don't have any, do you want some? What would it include? So you got to be doing market research at every stage. So by the time you get to stage 4, it should be a slam dunk. You should know, wow, there are ways for me to provide something that doesn't require me actually doing a ton of work. And that's what you do in stage 4. Create that offer so people can just buy it from you.
Okay? And usually, based on my experience with other people, translators, what is that? Maybe is a guide, as you mentioned, an ebook on something relevant to the target market that they really need, as a guidebook or something, or maybe a 30 minutes consultation, or actually a website review if their industry is about website and localization, like that. So this is very common that we have found out with my mentees through research that their clients would need, and they created, for example. But I'm open to your suggestions, and you can give us examples also of your industries. Okay, we can relate to our industry or come up with more ideas about the translation industry.
And by the way, I would say that creating these products is actually not that difficult. The difficult part is really finding out what that product should be. Because like I said, that is stage 4 of growing your business. That is not the thing you should be focusing all of next week doing. The thing you should be focusing all next week doing is stage 1, which is getting clients, then getting leads, then growing your audience. And by then, it will be really obvious. Once you're getting money in the bank and working with these clients, it will be really obvious how to save yourself some time by teaching them something, by creating a small product that you can just sell and get that paid lead, essentially, which would bring us to stage 5. So stage 5 is very pervasive in the coaching industry. It would be, you would have to get to stage 5 to figure out how to do it for translators. But essentially, by stage 5, you've already grown your audience. People are already buying things from you without even talking to you, right? So there are a ton of people who are following you who have never bought anything from you, who have never felt like they could because it doesn't quite fit what they need, or because the price is too high, right? Like there's always audience members that are very captive, but they don't know how to work with you, but they're still listening to you every day. So stage 5 is taking all of those people who are excited about your content and giving them something in a membership style, right? Something that is really low level. Like for $25 a month, you can get this extra information about translation services, right? So by then you will know what that looks like, because you will know what is the makeup of your audience, right? And you'll see like, okay, I've talked to enough of them that I know why people who still follow me are not buying from me. Okay, so what can I give them so that I can just give? It's basically, this is how I describe it. So my Facebook group, like I said, I've never cracked 1,000 on anywhere, right? So my Facebook group has about 600 and so many people. So, but only about 30 of them engage with me in the group, right? So this is how I describe it. I describe it as every time I show up in my Facebook group, I feel like I rented a 600 seat stadium, right? A 600 seat room, but only 30 people showed up. So I want you to imagine yourself in that situation, right? Where you go teach a class to 600
Yeah.
people and only 30 show up. This is what you would do is not cancel the class, right? I would not close my Facebook group because I'm not getting engagement. What I would do in real life is tell all of those 30 people who are sitting in the back, I'd bring them to the front. And now this is no longer a 6-person on stage speech. Now this is an interactive workshop. So that's what you're trying to do in stage 5, is bring all of those people to the front of the room and give them a special access, special content, so that they feel like they're getting more of you than everybody else who's not showing up.
With the membership you mentioned?
So a membership is a great way to do it. But again, what are you going to give them? Once you get there, you will know. And if you don't know, you do market research. You guys, there's a huge misconception about market research that if I tell new people, right, who have a great idea, right? For example, like to pick on one person, Aida, right? Aida says, I have a great idea, right? I'm going to specialize in language services for companies entering the Spanish market. And I know there's a need, right? I'm just going to go and offer it. And I tell Aida, you should probably do market research first. Like, talk to these companies, find out what they need, find out how they describe their struggle, right? And Aida would tell me, sorry to pick on you, Aida, I'm using you as an example.
That's
and Aida would tell me, no, I don't need to do market research. I already know that there's a market for this, right? And I would stop right there and say, Aida, there's a huge misconception that only people who don't understand their client and who don't
need to
do market research, when in reality, it is the experienced entrepreneurs who are doing market research all the time. It's only the newbies, the people who are starting out, who feel like, no, I don't need to do that. And they're the ones shooting themselves in the foot. So doing, Aida, my pleasure. Yeah, sorry to pick on you, Aida. So it is important that you're constantly speaking to that ideal client. So you're constantly tweaking your message. I do market research interviews pretty much like every week. I just had one a couple of days ago, which was amazing. You never stop doing market research. So yeah,
I do it once or twice per year, the market research. And thank you for mentioning that, because it's an exercise in my programs from all of the translators. And usually they're high-level translators or translators that they make money, that they join my program. So, but even though they are at the stage like, I don't know, 5, 4 of what you've described so far, they haven't made any research. And those researches, they give you the answers that you have to all of your questions. So for me, I don't know why people, they don't do the research. They don't know how to do it, so they're afraid. Please let me know in the comments. But definitely, those researches, they don't take you much time to do them. I do, as I told you, twice per year. I invite people for interviews and I give them back 30 minutes free consultation. But really helps you to create the content that they want, really gives you the answers to all of your questions. So you mentioned that because we are actually at the level of people that they're excited for you, but they don't buy, and you need to find somehow to bring them in front. Also, would like to add to that, if you allow me, and if you agree with that, actually, that the silent people usually buy. So for me, the fact that I don't get high engagement during my live, I know that they're going and they watch it on my YouTube because I see 400 views, for example. So I know that people watch it, even though they don't attend live. But also I know from my experience that those that they buy actually are those that they are silent. So my paid programs or high-end offers, they usually bought by people that they've never had before. Okay, I've seen also great colleagues of mine that are friends and we know each other and they trust me. This is why they buy from me. So yes, you're right. But I also see the other way around, that people that they're silent buy. So also in our profession, because we're not coaches, we're not people who have empathy. So our clients, they're not very familiar with networking online or social media. Okay, might be very serious businesses, legal firms and so on. So they are not that active on social media. So don't expect them to be cheerleaders of you on social media, your high-end clients. But definitely you need to still be there. Okay, and those people are watching you, and definitely the next time you post something on LinkedIn, what's the views, not the likes or comments, which, okay, ideally I would love them to have them, okay, 1,000 likes, 1,000 comments, but if I have 10,000 views, okay, people are reading it, okay, people are watching it, and that's my 5 cents, and I've seen that through my programs.
Yeah,
I don't know if you agree.
And if I can say one more thing about market research, not only are you getting gold information about your client, but you also have the opportunity to basically show them your services and your price list and let them react to it. And I'm going to tell you, the more people I can get to explain back to me what my offer is, the more I'm winning. Because you have no idea how many people follow me who still have no idea what I offer, right?
Yeah,
so
I can attest. Yeah, for myself.
So when I get together with people for market research, I make sure that by the end of the call, they know exactly what I offer. They know what the price point is. They've had a chance to think about it and give me insights on it. And now I've had people on the market research call who are like, I'm totally stopping myself from buying it right now because and I'm like, okay, tell me why. Why do you need this? And these are the people who are going to turn into customers later on. So market research is just a gold discovery. It's just a win-win for everybody.
Definitely. Okay, amazing. So we're at stage 5. Is there any next stage or
so those are the stages? But by the time you get to stage 5, you guys, you don't need to be following any stages. Like you've been getting clients, you know exactly. So what I wanted to do was, if Aida, Daniela, if anybody who's listening right now could tell us which stage you feel like you're in, we can zoom in on activities to improve your chances of getting out of that stage. So let me say them again. Stage 1 is you've only had a few clients and you really need clients now. You need to make money with your business right now.
They are not there. Aida and Daniela, they are not there.
Number 2, stage 2 is you've had clients. You're getting a sense for like what people need and how you're going to work with them. Okay. Your offer is taking shape, but now the well has run dry, right? Like you need more leads. You need to attract more people into your offers, right?
Aida says number 2. She's at number 2.
Stage 3 is you get clients, you already have an offer that you know that people got and that people want, and now you need to grow your audience so that you can meet more new people and funnel them into your audience, into your offer. Okay, that's stage 3, audience growth. Okay, so let's stay there for a second. Okay, why don't we zoom into stage 2?
Oh, also Daniela is at stage. So I think I'm at stage 4. I haven't created any evergreen right now, but okay.
Because you've mastered the process of like growing your audience. So now
somehow I got high-end clients right away. So I missed the tiny offer or evergreen. So I went from 1 to I don't know 5, and I missed the 4.
No. Stage 5 does not mean premium offer.
Yes.
On the contrary, stage 1 is your premium offer.
Okay. Because my premium offer is from the beginning. I had it ready. Yeah. I missed the stages of actually building a reputation, starting small and getting bigger. So
just because we're working in stages does not mean that your offer grows in stages. Your premium offer starts on day 1 with stage 1.
Okay, so I'm at the right stage right now. I'm at 4.
Stage 4 means that you are selling your premium program and you have grown your audience and you're getting people into your premium program. Stage 4 is how to capitalize on people who are watching your stuff, but they're not gonna buy from you because that's not the exact offer, that's not the exact price point. It's up to you to know what can I give them that is a smaller offer, something that can just get purchased in my sleep. So thank you so much for saying that, because it would be a complete disservice to you guys to walk away thinking that you start with a small offer and you grow your offer. You start with your premium offer.
So I'm done right away. So this is how it worked for me anyway. So are you here with us, Ina?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, it was frozen a little bit. Okay, great. So stage 2, you would like to go deeper with that? Something about Aida, Daniela?
With Aida and Daniela, I think we should dig into stage 2, into the steps for stage 2 to grow your leads, for sure. But you were telling your story of how it worked out for you. Sorry if I think they glitched.
You got it. No, you didn't interrupt. That's what I was thinking. Like I should have created a small or tiny offer that I didn't. So I went premium right away. So I was thinking that I should have passed through those stages, but no, you explained that it was a misconception of mine. Okay, so I'm on the right track, I think.
You're on the right track, yeah. Smaller offers help you when you have a larger audience and they're not all running to your premium offer to buy it, right? Like you just gotta know But just by definition, that premium offers are purchased by fewer people than smaller offers are purchased by many people. So
it makes sense. It makes sense,
right?
Yeah.
Because you're starting with doing one-on-one on stage 1. You start with a premium offer. You only get to small offers when your audience has grown enough that you can give more people more value. Okay, so you go like that.
Clear.
The growth goes like this, and the offer goes like that. Okay,
amazing.
So why don't we talk about stage 2, which is getting leads? Okay, so here's one piece that gets missed all the time, which is why people tend to skip stage 2, right? People go from stage 1, which is getting clients, to okay, it's time to grow my audience so I can get more leads. Wrong. Because that's where you end up with growing an audience that is not paying for anything when you haven't mastered stage 2, which is turning them into leads. This is what you do. You gotta talk to people personally. Okay. And this is a painful part. And I see Dorota says that she is Dorota. Am I saying your name right? Dorota?
Yeah, Dorota Pollack is also a speaker. Last week she was a speaker here. We talked about localization. Hello, Dorota. Thank you. She's at stage 4, she says.
Dorota is stage 4. Awesome. So in order to turn people into leads, you have to talk to them personally. Okay, so here I'm going to tell you something. I was just on a live with this amazing business coach. His name is Yasser Khan, and he's also on YouTube and he's also on LinkedIn. And I'm not on LinkedIn much, right? I focus mostly on Instagram and on Facebook. That's where my clients are. That's where I nurture them. So we were talking about LinkedIn, and he gave me a really, really good suggestion. So again, going from the perspective of whenever I put out content, I need to put out content that engages people. Okay. And that's a purposeful thing. All right. Just because I posted a picture of myself, right, that doesn't mean that I'm inviting the right kind of engagement. I gotta be posting something that my ideal client would immediately cannot help themselves in answering that question, right? So I'm going to give you just a quick example. Suppose that my business is helping pregnant women, right? So I am going to go online and I'm going to entice pregnant women to answer. Okay, so I am just going to say, who here had morning sickness the entire pregnancy versus just the first 3 months, right? I'm going to assure you, pregnant women are going to answer, right? Or people who have been pregnant before. And that's a little caveat there. You got to make sure that whenever you're creating engaging posts, that you always follow up to see if they're really your ideal client. So here's kind of how that goes. I'm going to post, who here had morning sickness, right? And I'm going to get a bunch of people, oh, this is what. I am going to go back and talk to them personally and be like, hey, Virginia, I noticed that you mentioned that you had morning sickness. Are you pregnant right now? Congratulations, right? And she'll be like, yes, I'm pregnant right now. Okay, am I outing you, Virginia?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just making a joke.
I'm just getting a lot of comments about you here, and people are contacting me directly. So Sonia, Patricia, if you're watching us, please say hello here in the comments. It's easier for us also to follow the discussion rather than going to my messenger. Okay, answering questions. Okay, about our lives.
Sorry, I was just making a joke about you being pregnant. So
I'm not yet. Sorry,
I was just making a joke, and I was like, I'm outing Virginia. No, she's not pregnant. So if Virginia comments saying like, oh yeah, this is the sickness that I had, I would comment I would message Virginia personally and be like, hey, so are you pregnant right now? And that we would start a conversation. Notice that when Virginia answers the question, oh, this is the kind of sickness that I had, right? I don't go to the personal messages and say, hey, I have a course for you. Come and sign up, right? Yeah. We don't pitch like that, okay? When you're trying to get leads, it's all about creating a personal connection. So I'm going to give you another example of that. And I'll tell you what Yasser told me about talking to people on LinkedIn. So
let us know, Ina. Can you hear me? Let us know if we can find this Yasser. So if we can find it later, you can comment in the comments. You can post in the comments any link that we can find.
Totally. And I wish I could. I'm putting him in the
Yeah, I see that you posted it on LinkedIn, but because I would love to have it also in the Mentoring for Translators group, we'll see later. So we will share later in our group the details and the resources.
So
Okay, cool.
and I'll tell you in a second what Yasser's advice was. But again, going back to the process of getting leads is about establishing personal relationships with people. I'm gonna give you a really a beautiful example. I was hanging out in a Facebook group, and somebody had a question. Now, this is a really cool way to meet ideal clients, is to find out where they're hanging out and seeing if they're posting questions that your ideal client would ask, right? So I was hanging out in a Facebook group, right, for women entrepreneurs, and this woman posted saying, I need help right now. My client is doing this and this and this, and I need help with this particular issue, right? So I was the first one to respond. I didn't say, this is the kind of stuff that I talk about in my group.
Program.
I didn't do that.
Yeah.
All I did was answer her question. I put on my coach hat, right? And I said, here's the answer. This is how I would answer this to my clients. This is what you do. Okay. She was so grateful. It actually ended up saving her a sale that she almost lost, right? And I went on the personal messages and I just said, I'm so glad that was helpful. What do you do? And we just started talking. She has kids. I have kids. We just started commiserating over that. And then I asked her, later, a couple days later, I asked her if she would be up for doing a market research interview with me. She said, absolutely. I didn't even have to offer a trade. It was just like, I'd be happy to help you. I'm like, great, wonderful. Then as the date was coming for the market research interview, she had to cancel because something came up. Or I think I had to cancel because there was a conflict.
Okay.
And so we had to cancel it. And I forgot to follow up. She forgot that, to reschedule it. It's been a couple of weeks. She's the one who contacted me and who said, I am so sorry we haven't scheduled this. When can we do this? So we put it in the books and we had the most beautiful conversation during the market research interview. And she may end up being a potential client for me, but I didn't have to pitch anything. All lead generation is about creating relationships with potential clients. And in our conversation at the end, we're so grateful that we got to meet, that I'm hoping we can work together at some point. And if we don't end up working together, maybe we'll do a collaboration. But now we know each other. So getting leads is about just meeting people, helping them out and letting them know, educating them on what we do, right? There is no point in me just going around making friends online. I run a business. I'm not just making friends. I need to educate people on what I do. So that we can do that through creating lasting relationships online. Does that make sense?
I smile. Yeah, I smile here because I have a story that I usually share, one story with my mentees, because through my programs, we do active prospecting, okay? So I teach translators how to get translation clients through prospecting, especially through LinkedIn. So I have had one story with one mentee of mine that she told me, because we start, and my main idea, and this is why I totally agree, like Sonia says, I totally agree, and Ina, I totally agree with you too. The fact that we need to build natural relationships, okay, with people, and to start natural conversation instead of pitching or trying to be salesy. So this is also my main value in my programs. I don't do salesy way or pushy messages, and and also my ways are not that way. So you see how I work. But I have had, makes a perfect sense this here. So I have had this issue. So this is okay. I was saying that, so while we are doing the prospecting with my mentees, I had one mentee, Alicia, if you say here, say hello. She told me, we were okay to create the messages to start a natural conversation. She told me, but I'm not interested in what they do. I'm trying to sell to them. So I don't really find it very useful what you are teaching us, my messages and all the that we can actually how to start discussions, okay, how to start natural, discussion, build relationships, not to sell. And she comes back to me and she says, but I'm not interested in what they are doing. I'm trying to sell to them. So I know that it's also a character issue and a mindset issue, but this is a funny story that I try to sell, because for me, it's my main value. You don't sell out there, okay? Even though selling is not bad, you don't need to be, salesy or pushy. You just start conversations in a very natural way. If you have something to contribute in a discussion or to help, like Ina, she just described her story. So you started by providing value, okay, and helping another woman in a group. So that might end up, okay, to in a sale or not. Yeah, if you're not interested, you say here in what they do, they will feel it, okay? They want to work with someone that cares about them. And for me, it's not only the fact that they will feel it, Ina, that you said here in the comments. It's the fact that you need to care for the clients. If you don't care for your clients, okay, you're doing the wrong job. I don't know how to say that. What do you think?
I mean, if you're saying to yourself, I don't really care about talking to them about all this stuff, it's like, well, then what kind of relationship are you hoping to have? So we have this, it's almost like, because we see other people making so much money online and having 1 million followers online, we think that they don't actually have a personal connection to anybody. So why should we, right? People should just buy our services because it's a great service, right? The thing is that none of us, people who are in the service industry, we're not in the business of selling water bottles, right? Like, what we sell is not a commodity. It's something that is very specific and very human connection driven. So if I didn't really care about why should I care if my clients have kids? Why should I care if my clients live in California or in Spain? Why should I care about all of that? I just know that I can help them get clients, right? So they should just buy my membership because it's going to help them get clients. That's all they need to know.
Yeah.
And it's just not true. People make investments based on gut feel. When I was working at a company and we needed a translator, you guys, we didn't go to like a freelance application to find a translator. You know who translated the stuff for us? Our CEO's sister-in-law, because she lives in Germany and we needed some German help. She was not even an official translator, right? So why did she get the job instead of somebody else who's an expert at translating software for German? Because she was there and because the connection was already there, right? So I'm not saying you have to be family members of the people that you work with, but having a personal connection is what makes people want to work with you.
Yeah,
so
and visibility that you mentioned, the visibility that the first person that you thought, so you didn't know how to set translators. And for us, it's a very big red flag, the fact that companies, even big companies, they hire sisters-in-law or whatever, family members, that they are not official translators. So definitely, okay, something that we need to consider next time. So those people, they didn't hire the sister of the CEO because they just wanted to give the job to a family member. No, they did it because they didn't actually know any official translator or a professional translator or translation company they could trust, okay? So this is why we need actually prospecting a lot, and we need to become visible to our potential clients to let them know that we exist, that we are there for them, okay? So 50 minutes live already, Ina. We have 10 minutes more here, and then we are going on Clubhouse.
It flew by.
Yeah, amazing. And thank you, ladies. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you, Aida. Thank you, Daniela. And I see here also my mentees. Thank you, Valerie, Ina, Virginia, that you are here, Elena, that they just liking the post. So we have 10 minutes. What you would like to cover? Because I think I find it really helpful, but definitely building real relationships, okay, in a natural way instead of selling to your clients is really important. And to overcome the fear, the taboo, as we say, about selling is actually if you realize that you provide value to your clients instead of selling whenever you contact them, or that you would be able to solve them a problem or actually be a viable asset to their team instead of thinking that I'm selling to them right now and don't want to sell them. This is already a great way to overcome your mindset blocks, because those are mindset blocks that we have and a taboo issue. Do you have any ideas to share or advice on that? I've seen it a lot in my industry, this thing.
Yes. So I just want to say that sometimes we fall into the trap of, in the process of building a relationship, giving way too much value to people. So I know that there are some people out there who just tend to give away their services for free in order to establish a relationship. And I just wanted to say that that is really not necessary. So in the process of building a relationship, I would say a great thing to do is to just ask for market research calls, to ask for information calls, to ask for discovery calls that won't necessarily lead to a sale. It's basically just, hey, is there anything that I can help you out and help you figure out? So you know what your offer is. Your offer is you do translations, right? So I would never do a translation for free, but I may offer a free consultation, right? So here's the difference between the two. Here's two things that I want everybody to walk away with. There is a trade, and there is a free for purchase. Okay, there's kind of two modalities of providing value without a purchase. Okay, one is, hey, I'm gonna give you a consultation where you're actually providing value, but at the end they're gonna hear my pitch. It's basically the same thing as having a webinar. When I do a webinar, you don't just get 90 minutes of my content. This is the purpose of a webinar, is not to give away my value. The purpose of a webinar is to get you to learn something new so that you can hear my pitch, right? It's a trade, right? I give you some free information. You give me the opportunity to tell you about my services. And that's the same dynamic that happens in a free consultation, where you are actually guiding them through and giving them some advice. And at the end, you can say, okay, based on all of these things that you just talked about, I believe I could come up with a package of this value that will get you from A to B, that will do this. Do you want to do that or not? So that's kind of a free consultation plus a pitch. The other way to do this is to have informational conversations where there is no possibility of a sale, and where that person knows there is no possibility of a sale. It's purely informational. So, hey, let's just learn about each other, okay? And that's a half an hour conversation. I call those discovery calls, where I don't make a pitch and where I say to them, by the way, here, I just want us to understand what your needs are and for you to understand what my services are, right? But there is we're just going to lower the pressure here. I don't want you to buy anything. I just want you to be able to ask me any questions you have about how I work with people. Okay? So when you lower the pressure, that you don't have to buy anything. I just want to see in the future how we could serve each other. Let's just find out more about each other. And that is a really powerful way to get to know each other without you feeling like, okay, how am I going to pitch my services at the end? If they're interested in hearing more about your services, you can always set up a sales call, which is like, okay, if you're interested in that, then let's set up a different call where we can actually talk about all of the rates and how we would work together and all that stuff. But right now, I just want you to know what I do. It's so important to let people know what you do and for them know in a way that they understand it. Oh, and I forgot to tell you about Yasser's advice for LinkedIn.
Okay. I thought you said that. Okay.
I forgot to give you Yasser's advice for LinkedIn. Because so on Facebook, people are more free to engage with you and to answer questions. But if you guys are translators for companies, those people are probably going to be on LinkedIn and not engaging a lot. Yasser told me 99% of people who are on LinkedIn don't engage with posts. So it'd be kind of hard for you to try to do lead generation by posting and hoping that the 1% will respond. So a great way to find out who is interested in you is by looking at who has viewed your profile and reach out.
If you have the paid version, of course, if you have the paid version.
Yeah. And you tell me, because I'm totally new to this, but if you turn on the ability for others to see if you saw their profile, you should be able to see that for them too, but I think it's for a limited time. What is the free version like?
You see only 5 people or something like that, or you see the industry that they work on, the number of views, but not actually the names of people that you get. Okay, with the paid version or the Sales Navigator, you get everyone that visits your profile. So it's also a great opportunity to go back and say hello, like Yasser and Ina just mentioned, because as I told you, especially on LinkedIn, they don't. And also the silent people buy. It's something that you need to remember, that are not only chill readers that they're going to buy from you. And I can say, so let's to wrap up, and we're continuing on Clubhouse, okay, in 10 minutes. Okay, one last advice. How we know that we're not overselling, okay, or I'm giving away too much right now, because I'm at that stage. How do I know I'm not giving much for free right now? Is there any way that I can know that myself, so as to keep me back and create another approach?
You gotta know what your offer is, so that you know to not give it away for free. So for example, my program, right? My program is about get clients first. That's what I focus on, which is these 5 stages, right? And in my program, I dive into them a lot deeper. There's personal coaching involved, right? There's all of that stuff. So how do I know that I didn't just give away the farm in this live? Because I know that in my program, I guide you through step by step. I give you tips on how to go to Facebook and what kinds of posts to post, and how to identify your specialty and your niche and your audience, and clarity on the business model you should have. All the stuff. I'm not coming here and like opening up the course and giving it to you one by one. I'm basically right now just letting you know what my program is. If it's attractive to anybody, you'll follow me and you'll find out about it once it opens its doors again in April when I do my launch, right? So how do I know that I didn't just give too much away and you're not going to want to join? Because I know that whoever wants to take it to the next level will want to find out more about the program so that they can do it right. I know I have the confidence to know that there is no way I can go through my entire program in just a 1-hour interview. I know that. And I know that this 1-hour interview is not going to give you the kind of value that joining my program is. So that's how you do it. What are the things that you feel like people need to know about your services in order to sign up for them? And that's how you structure your free content and your free consultations and all of that, is not giving away the value.
You know, I'm a guy. Yeah.
Building up to it.
I'm also Gary Vee fan in that aspect. I don't really like in general Gary Vee, but some things are very, very clever and they really work out. Actually, the fact that he says, I'm giving everything, your best content for free, and they pay you for the time that they spend with you. So he has this approach. I don't know if you agree. I do that. I give everything, not everything, okay? The fact that I have created my paid programs there, I reveal everything. But for free, I also give great value, okay? Things that they can actually go and implement. And I got so many compliments, for example, my LinkedIn 5-day challenge. They told me I've learned so many things that I'm actually implementing right now that I cannot join your 3-month program, which is totally different, okay? Imagine what value you can get, okay, by joining a 3-month program in comparison to a 5-day challenge. But definitely I see their point. If it's something really new to them, they get so much value that they really satisfied with that. It also depends on the stage of your clients or your audience at that point. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in training your people about their problem, educating people about their problem so that they can see your services as the solution. So anything you can do to do that on social media and on your consultations and everything, then people will want to buy your services. Just don't give away your services for free.
Okay, thank you so much, Ina. I really love that. Let's close this live with this final sentence of yours. So if you missed the live, actually, you can watch the recording on my LinkedIn account in the feature section, on my YouTube channel, Virginia Katsimpiri, my Facebook public page, Virginia Katsimpiri, and of course our community, Excellent Mentoring or Mentoring for Translators on Facebook. Ina is a member, and if you want to follow up with Ina, definitely follow Ina, or I would love you to continue the discussion in the Mentoring for Translators group. Definitely you can connect on other social media like Instagram. And great advice. Thank you so much, says Aida. Great live. Thank you, says Ileana. Very inspiring session. Thank you, says Dorota. And we covered today, okay, the 5 stages of building a business and where you stand right now, okay, how to market yourself online and create lead generation, audience growth, okay, and definitely how to overcome mindset blocks and how to get to know your clients. And we covered a lot about stage 2 that most of translators, I think that they really do. So definitely go back, watch the recording, and if you have more questions about Ina, our topic, or how to get leads, definitely connect with Ina privately. But I would love to continue the discussion beneath the live, wherever you are watching it, and tag Ina or myself, and we can continue the discussion in the comments. And of course, if you're watching the replay, use the hashtag replay and ask us anything by tagging us, and we would love to address your question. And for the first time, what we're going to do, we're going right now, I said in the comments, the Clubhouse Room event. If you are a Clubhouse member, join us, because the next 1 hour, we're going to continue the same discussion, but answering your questions. So we're going deeper, and maybe you get the chance, okay, to get answers to your own specific questions about your own audience and your own business and the stage that you're right now. So definitely join us. You'll find the link in the comments. If you don't have an invitation, I can invite 5 people that you need to contact me directly so as to send you the invitation via a phone number. Ina, I really appreciate. I didn't realize that time flies. Okay, I hope that we can have you in any other live later in the future. Okay, because it was a pleasure, and you show the interest in the comments. So people are very, very interested in what you do. And thank you for joining us. And of course, we're going to share contact details where to find Ina later officially. So we're going to share all the channels of Ina and the way that Ina would like to be contacted by you. You're welcome, Sonia, Aida, Ilana, Dorota, Daniela, Valerie, Elena. Thank you, all of you, for being here. Follow us on Clubhouse. We are closing here, and we're going on Clubhouse to continue definitely address your own issues personally. Thank you so much, Ina. See you soon. And now we're going on Clubhouse, okay?
See you.
Ina, you stay here.
And if you'd like to connect, the best place to connect with me is on Instagram at Ina Coveney.
Okay, I think everyone saw that, but I'm going to share that officially also in the description box of YouTube and in our Mentoring for Translators group. Thank you once again. See you guys on Clubhouse and later in the discussion in our group. Bye now. Ina, you stay here.